This is the first knife I ever made with my dad, and I'm going to show you how I made it.
Wow, this is a 1084 high carbon steel, Michigan's bird's eye maple. Nice. We cut and grounded the 1084 steel until the edge width was down to 20 or 30,000 inches, or 0.5 to 0.8 millimeters. Then we heated the blade slowly to just past non-magnetic temperature, which is about 820 or so Celsius, and quenched in 130 degrees fast quench oil. Then I didn't record, but we tempered it 2 times 1 hour in the oven at 400 Fahrenheit or 200 degrees. We have to be careful not to overheat the blade when we're doing the final cut of the bevel. So he's putting them in the water to keep it cool. Nowadays, I like 13 degrees per side to be the primary bevel, and add a little bit of micro convex bevel for robustness at the end. Then next day, we wet sanded the blade from about 150 to 3000 grits. Then we did 0000 steel wool, and we took a cotton wheel and green stropping compound to polish it super shiny. Look at this. We went from 150 grit up to 3000 in the steel wool. Now it's so shiny after polishing this new blade. Doesn't go all the way in. Okay, keep filing. After drilling 4 holes with drill bits, we took file to make a rectangular slot for the bolster to put the blade in. Leo, put the punch in a bird's eye maple. And space it apart and put a few more. Not too close. Yep. Vertical. Now it's time to drill out Michigan's bird's eye maple so we can put the tang in the handle. Hard, faster. Lift up.
Really hot epoxy.
We mix the epoxy and put it together. I'm gonna wait overnight until tomorrow morning to open this up to start shaping the handle. Almost 10 p.m. and Alex's handle is becoming more like a knife. Good job. Smile. Rub it.
Oh yeah.
Do you see the bird's eye maple pop? I did help him out with the final shaping and the sanding of the handle, but he did most of the work. Then we used his handmade knife to carve out 2 pieces of wood to make the saya, or to make a protector for inside the leather sheath. We made 2 wood casings, saya. One is to practice, so he can study by using the sunlight what thinness of the wood where it's too thin. If it's too thin, you can see the light going through and you're gonna poke through the wood. The second one, we took a little bit more time to go slowly. And you can see a little bit of light shining near the end, but this one is good. If the blade is in the wood casing, it's gonna be sitting just like that. Nice. We have mocked up 7/8 ounce thick leather, vegetable tanned rawhide. Now we're gonna put some D-ring loop right here. This is called the saddle stitching. We're using 2 needles and 1 thread to go back and forth, back and forth. And tighten both strings. Okay, let's go to the next hole. We are tying off the D-ring leather piece. I don't
One
know
more,
what you
Daddy?
call it. Yeah, go ahead, one more.
5th and final one.
We're soaking the leather in water to make it soft. And we also wrap the blade with saran wrap so it doesn't get rusty when it goes into wet leather during stitching process. We're gonna saddle stitch with 2 needles. We put the holes by using a fork to show the location, and also about 2mm drill bit. And then we're gonna start stitching from about here. We're gonna go back up and then go back down. So the top will be double stitched. And then same when we get to the bottom, we're gonna go down and back a little bit for extra strength. A useful tip for the thread length is you need about 7 length of the stitching you will do, because you have to fold the thread in half for 2 needles. So that makes it about 3.5 length per side. To finish off the saddle stitching, after you go all the way down, we went back a few, and then next time we're gonna pass the thread through the gap of the leather and bury the knot in here, so knot will not be visible.
Can I do the overhand things now?
Yep, I'll do 3 or 4 overhand and done.
Okay, so I can take off the needle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then pull it tight into the gap. It's okay. Push it into the gap. Okay. Yep.
10 years old.
Nice. What is this? This is a sharpened antler point from mule deer in Colorado. You can write your design when the leather is still wet.
I'm gonna put.
Right.
I finished my belt holder by saddle stitching 3 layers to make it stronger.
Yeah, nice loop. So you can put the belt there. Today we're gonna dry this completely, trim the excess, and apply beeswax.
Then done. feel like I should trim this piece. I trimmed that little section off.
We are sanding the cut area of the leather before we can apply beeswax. A plastic leather roller will smooth out the edges. Get it nice and smooth. The beeswax has been melted in a double boiler system. We're going to apply the beeswax onto the leather and then also melt it in with a heat gun. Be careful not to get the leather too hot because it's going to start cooking and leather is destroyed. See, it's absorbing. You have finally made your own first knife and the sheath. Looks super nice. It took you just over a week. We started last Saturday and today is Sunday after July 4th. Nice work, Alex. Smile.
Thanks for watching, knife people.